What's up, PMU Rockstars? Today we're here with part 2 of my SEO series for permanent makeup artists. And today I want to tackle an issue that I've been seeing a lot on most sites, is not having the proper title tag or H1 tag on your website pages. Okay? Now before we get into that being something that sounds really confusing, I just want to let you know that it isn't. Okay? Whether you're using Wix, WordPress, Squarespace, Weebly, any website builder, you can actually go in and change these two things relatively easy. Okay? It's simply just adjusting your text in certain parts of your site. It's that simple. So what I want to go over today is showing you some examples of some good ones, some bad ones, and I want you to kind of get an idea of what it is we're looking for when we're structuring these things, so you can ultimately optimize your website for the best results locally. Okay? So check out this video. It'll be short, but it's going to have so much impact on your search engine rankings for your business. So stay tuned. Welcome back. All right. So like I mentioned, we are going to go over titles and H1 tags. Okay. Two elements that are extremely important to have on each of your web pages. Okay. And we're going to go into why that is and, what you can do to make the proper adjustment and really what you should be looking for when we're creating this. All right. So to give you an idea, the title tag is what we would normally see in Google when we're doing a search. So if we did microblading in Nashville, we can see what a title tag might look like in a search result. So take a look here. This line right here is what we call the title tag. All right. This is basically telling Google what that page is about. And when someone's doing a search in Google, they're going to see this bolded. Right? It's going to be one of the first things they see when they're looking for a search result. Okay. So I picked Nashville just as an example. This is a big market, obviously, but this applies to any location. All right. So wherever you're located, you want to take note of what we're going to be going over here. Okay. Now, what do we notice when we're putting this in? Okay. So specifically, we were looking for microblading, right? Which a lot of your potential new customers would be looking for specifically. Okay. And also the location. All right. So most of the time when someone's doing a search, they're adding their location to get specific to the type of business that they're looking for in the area that they're wanting to travel to. Okay. So the key to a good title tag that we see here are three elements. Okay. The three elements are, we want to include where you're at. Okay. So here, obviously, we know it's Nashville, right? They have it specifically in place. We want to know what you're doing. So here we know it's Eyebrow Microblading, right? That is the service that is tying this together with the location, okay? And then lastly, we have the branding of the company, okay? So we have where, we have what, we have who, all right? So keep that in mind. Those three elements are what we want to focus in on for what our title tags should be, okay? Now, let me show you here. So we have the same company, okay? And if we go to the title here, we can see it here on the site, right? Right in the browser. Nashville Eyebrow Microblading, Nashville Skin Company. So again, we know where they are, we know what they do, and we know who they are, right? So that's a title tag. This is another company, okay? Nashville Eyebrow Microblading. Again, same setup, right? But a different company. So obviously there's a little bit of correlation here, right? There's a reason why companies are doing this. And these are the two companies that are showing up at the top results in Nashville. So I can guarantee you they're getting a lot of new clients because of this, okay? Now they added permanent makeup in theirs as well, as you can see, which is also a good addition. That would be a good thing to possibly add in. They don't necessarily have to put Nashville, Tennessee again at the end, but you're getting an idea that they're still trying to formulate and structure this in a certain way. Okay? So that is amazing. I want to see more people trying this. And here's the thing. If you're using Wix, you can do this too. Okay? If you're in your site manager and you're going into your pages, right? Wherever your pages are that you've created already, you can edit the SEO, right? Right here. and then it will let you put in your new title. Okay? So I want you to think about where you are. If you're in a specific city, maybe you're in Boston, Chicago, right? Maybe you're in San Jose. Like wherever you're located, you want to make sure you're adding that. And for each of your pages, okay, you want to designate what it is. So if you're doing microblading here, you want to put microblading in, right? Microblading services, eyebrow microblading, right? There's a reason that, like I said, these big companies, these big clinics are using that in their titles. Okay? So I really want you to think about that. And again, all you have to do is literally enter it in. Right? There's no coding, there's no nothing. It's literally, you can go into any of your site builders. It will have a setup very similar to this, right? And then you can add these types of titles in. So think about that, right? Think about how you can get your location, what it is we're talking about, what service, each page, right? And your brand. Okay? Really simple stuff. You can all add it in very easily. Okay? Now, second part of this is what we call the H1 tag. And the H1 tag is basically going to be your main header on your web page. Okay? So here, again, this is the #1 company in Nashville. All right? Look what they're doing again. They're literally just repeating what that title was, right? Nashville Eyebrow Microblading, right? This is their H1. This is their page title. So you don't see this in the Google search result, but this will show up in the back end, right? When you add it. And this is just a heading. This is a heading, your main heading, okay? And again, it matches up with Nashville Eyebrow Microblading. Same thing, right? So this is really hammering home to Google what this page is about. They know it's microblading. They know it's in Nashville, right? That's going to start building more relevance for your page. So think about yours, right? Remember we talked about your location. What's your location? You can add it in right here, right? And it's simple. If we look at Wix again, right? And you're adding an H1 tag. If you're on your page that you're editing, it's literally your main heading. It's going to be like the top thing, okay? Easy to add. All of you can do it. You don't need any coding experience or anything. It's literally text, okay? But so many of these websites miss it, right? Now here's again another competitor, right, to this one. #1 microblading service in Nashville. So that's their H1 tag. So again, they like putting #1 because it kind of gives them a little bit of boost, letting people know they're the #1 choice, even though they might not be. But microblading service, all right? Obviously, they're signifying what it is they do again. And then in Nashville, Tennessee, all right? So you're seeing that correlation. This title is letting people know what it is and where. This title, what it is and where, okay? So I want you to think about that on your site, editing those two things. And that's as simple as it is. You could go through all your services, okay? If you're doing lash extensions, it could be Nashville Lash Extensions, right? Lash lifts, permanent lip liner, right? There's so many things that you could be doing, but all you have to do is structure it properly, right? Structure it properly. That is it. Let's see if they do it here to give you another example. Let's see, eyelashes. See, look at this, right? Eyelash extensions in Nashville, right? Look up here at the title. Eyelash extensions in Nashville. I mean, that they're the #1 search result, ladies and gentlemen. And they are doing it for a reason, because they are creating their pages in such a way that you need to be doing it. Look at this. Like, this is perfect. This is what I want to see on any site. Okay? Now let me show you a bad example, because this is what a lot of people do. This is another one in Nashville. They're not the #1 result. Okay? So we have in our title, Anastasia Skin Studio. So what does that tell you? All I know is Anastasia Skin Studio. I don't know where you are. I don't know what you specialize in, right? That's not a good title. That's not going to be very helpful. It's definitely not as specific as these ones, right? The ones that are actually ranking on Google. So think about that. Now look, do I even see a title here? No, very vague. There's nothing. There's no content. There's nothing. This is not a very good site. Right? So again, what do you think is going to get the best results? Do you think something like this? What do you think something like this? Right? So again, titles, H1 tags, who you are, what you're doing, where you're doing it. Simple, right? Very simple. You can all do it. And I'm telling you, making those adjustments on your website can have a huge impact locally for people trying to find the services you provide. Okay? So please keep that in mind. Again, simple, easy fix. All you can do it, whether it's Wix, WordPress, Squarespace, Weebly, GoDaddy Builder, any website builder, you're going to be able to adjust this yourself without it being too much of a pain. Okay? So again, add that in, make the adjustments, and depending on where you're located, within a month you could see good results, right? If you're not in a busy, complex, competitive area, you can see results really quick just by changing that. Okay, so I definitely advise you to take a look at that, make those adjustments, and again, it's going to move your business forward. So I hope that helps. And if you have any questions, please leave them. I'd be more than happy to help you with anything in that regard. So thanks again, PMU artists. Stay tuned for part 3, which will be coming up very shortly. Thanks.